Am I the asshole for not wanting to lie to my son for the sake of family harmony? My parents always wanted grandchildren, and both my brother and I wanted children. But both of us ended up facing fertility issues with our respective partners. My wife and I eventually decided to start working with a surrogate. Our parents are old-fashioned, but they tried to be happy for us. My brother also tried. His wife did not. His wife is as against the concept of surrogacy as it's possible to be and always has been. We found a friend who was willing, and we now have a son. Sil went crazy. She spent months blasting all of us about how horrible we all were. That we supported all sorts of terrible practices because we were doing this, etc. She refused to go to our baby shower or see us in the hospital. But she did send a new mom kit meant for our surrogate with things to help a pregnant person recover from childbirth. My brother apologized for her, but said he couldn't change her mind. A few months later, my brother and his wife announced a spontaneous pregnancy after more than 5 years of trying. Our parents were thrilled, and so were we. We were willing to put it all behind us. They had a daughter, and it only intensified her views. She refused to bring the baby over for holidays or to meet her cousin because she refused to have her daughter raised to view women as objects. Years later, she's softened to have our parents around without us at least. My parents want the whole family together again. She's agreed to a compromise that she's willing to do holidays and family outings as long as we never tell the children that our son is from a surrogate. Our parents think we should do this because she has a point and they were always uneasy with it. I don't agree. This isn't some shameful secret that we should be ashamed of. We didn't do anything wrong. My wife is adamant that we shouldn't but wants our son to have a cousin. My parents are calling me as much as I'll answer to beg me to consider. My brother just wants the tension to stop and isn't going to fight with her anymore. Not the asshole. Your Sil can just mind her own business or fuck right off. Not the asshole. I guarantee lying to your child about their origins will cause divide in that relationship. Who is more important? Sil and her precious views or building an honest and open relationship with your child? Children survive without cousin relationships. And they thrive better without people who don't like their existence. It came in a different way. Not the asshole. Sil and family are trying to make a parenting decision for you about your child. If this is something you were planning on sharing with your son and wouldn't because of their views, it makes it see something that is wrong and shameful. How will your son feel about that as he gets older? Sil is forcing her views on others and punishing a child. Do you really want your child around someone like this? What type of model are they for him? Gift your niece Todd Parr's family book. Maybe she'll learn tolerance. Not the asshole. Honestly, if someone is objectifying women, it's your Sil. A woman can do whatever she wants with her own body. Your surrogate was a willing, consenting adult, and the fact that your Sil wants to tell her how to handle her own body is gross. Sil is nuts. The truth is likely to tear the family apart, and Sil will be prompt to blame you. Since no one wants to stand up to her, do not expect support. Sad situation. Not the asshole. Everybody gets to parent their own way. You do what is right for your family. Your child is none of her beeswax. I'd pull your bro aside and ask him that she keeps these thoughts to herself going forward. Everybody knows what she thinks. She can stop bringing it up. I would be worried that your kid is getting less than vibes from Sil. Not the asshole. I wouldn't lie either. Do people not understand that women opt to be surrogates and many are married, have families, and do it to make extra money and help others? It's rarely a single woman who has never had kids as a surrogate. Unless you went to a foreign country like Colombia to get one. I don't see an issue. Not the asshole. Your Sil sounds like the sort of person you should keep your son away from until he grows up. Your son has the right to know that they were born via surrogate. I'm sure it will be seen as a betrayal and he will probably have trust issues if you don't tell him. The same as not telling a kid they're adopted, but I'm neither of those things, so what do I know? Your family are mega assholes for demanding your child never find out, and you will be an off for not telling him for family harmony. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Please do not give in to this craziness. Women as objects because you used a surrogate? It's not like you went to a third world country and paid a destitute woman more money than she could say no to have your baby. Sil is ridiculous, and under no circumstances should you lie to your son or anyone else to protect her idiocy. Not the asshole. It would be irresponsible not to tell him. At least when he's older. She happy with him not knowing his medical history, etc.? Put your son first. Not the asshole. There are legitimate concerns around surrogacy, but it sounds like you went about it in as thoughtful a manner as one could ask for. Your Sil is an asshole. Your brother is an asshole. And your parents are assholes for enabling those assholes. When you appeal to family unity to appease assholes, you're just setting them up for greater acts of assholery in the future. Do not tolerate half measures from these collected assholes. FM. Your son is better off not exposed to them than he is having a cousin who is living amongst the assholes and learning their asshole ways. Not the asshole. Sil is unhinged and should have been told to fuck right off. You using a surrogate literally doesn't affect her, nor is it her business. Not the asshole. Of course you don't owe anything to Sil, including whether or not your son will be told. I wouldn't fault you for lying to her in order to keep peace. But I'd also understand being principled with that, because that relationship doesn't seem worth salvaging, even for your son to have a cousin. That said, I understand concerns with surrogacy to a point, but you found a friend who was willing to do this for you. You didn't hire a womb or whatever the seeing women as property argument is. This is not much different than adopting a friend's child. Not the asshole. Your Sil is insane. It's not your place to appease her for the sake of harmony, which wouldn't actually be harmonious, and in fact would actively be destructive for your kid. Info. How old are your son and niece? Does your son know the circumstances of his birth if old enough to know? Not the asshole. Just tell the kid and take them anyway. If sister wants to act insane, then sister looks insane. Not the asshole. Letting her control everyone else is not family harmony. If she wasn't complaining about this, she would be complaining about something else. She doesn't care about the family. I feel bad for your brother, but she has no right to say anything about your child. What the heck is wrong with your Sil and in-laws? People become families in all different ways. You don't get to pass judgment because someone used a different method. Fertility and starting a family is very personal. Not the asshole. It is sad that your judgmental Sil will prevent your kid having normal relations with your family. But it's better than lying to him. Not the asshole. Your son should know that you used a surrogate. It isn't dirty or wrong. Yes, there are people who handle it horribly and do objectify their surrogates. But that doesn't mean all surrogacy is evil. Not the asshole. If your parents want the family to come together, then they can finally stand up to your Sil and tell her in no uncertain terms that her views are not agreed to and need to be kept to herself from here on out. Their son needs to step up too and make it clear to his wife that she is the one who broke the family, not you two. But no one is willing to do the hard work of actually being genuine and standing up for what they believe in except Sil lol, so you two will have to stay away from Sil and your parents will have to deal with the consequences of their complicity.